Life is a grand adventure filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. But here's the thing, you are the captain of your ship, the master of your destiny. And today we're going to talk about something that many people forget. You are not your job, your wealth, or your relationships. Now I want you to take a moment and really think about that. You are not defined by what you do for a living, how much money you have in the bank, or who you're dating or married to. These are all parts of your life, sure, but they're not the essence of who you are. You see, we live in a world that's always trying to put us in boxes. It wants to label us, to categorize us. Oh, he's a doctor, they say. She's a millionaire, they whisper. They're the perfect couple, they gush. But let me tell you something. You are so much more than any of these labels. Think about it. When you were a little kid running around with scraped knees and a big smile, did you care about what job you'd have when you grew up? Did you worry about how much money you'd make? Of course not. You were too busy being you. Curious, playful, full of wonder. That essence, that core of who you are is still there. It's been there all along, but sometimes we forget about it. We get so caught up in the rat race and trying to climb the corporate ladder or make more money or find the perfect partner that we lose sight of what really matters. Your job is something you do, not something you are. It's a way to express your talents, to contribute to the world, to earn a living. But it doesn't define you. If you lost your job tomorrow, would you cease to exist? Of course not. You'd still be you with all your quirks, your passions, your dreams. The same goes for wealth. Money is a tool, nothing more. It can buy you comfort and experiences, but it can't buy you happiness or self-worth. I've met people who had all the money in the world but were miserable inside. And I've met people who had very little in terms of material possessions, but were rich in joy and content. Relationships are beautiful, they're important. They add color and depth to our lives, but they're not who we are at our core. Your worth doesn't depend on whether you're single or married, divorced or widowed. You are complete, whole, and worthy all on your own. So if you're not your job, your wealth, or your relationships, who are you? You are a unique, one-of-a-kind miracle of the universe. You are a collection of thoughts, feelings, experiences, and dreams. You are potential waiting to be unleashed. You are the kindness you show to a stranger, the courage you summon in tough times, the laughter you share with friends. You are the books you read, the music you love, the places you've been, and the memories you cherish. You are the goals you set and the obstacles you overcome. You are your values, your beliefs, your principles. You are the choices you make every single day. You are a work in progress, always growing, always learning. You are not static or fixed. You're fluid, adaptable, evolving. Every day you have the power to reinvent yourself, to choose who you want to be. Now, I'm not saying your job, your wealth, and your relationships aren't important. They are significant parts of your life experience, but they're not the sum total of who you are. They're like the clothes you wear. They can enhance your appearance, but they don't define your worth. Think about some of the greatest figures in history. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't just a civil rights leader. He was a beacon of hope, a voice for the voiceless. Mother Teresa wasn't just a nun. She was compassion in action. Einstein wasn't just a scientist. He was curiosity personified. These people weren't defined by their titles or their bank accounts. They were defined by their character, their actions, their impact on the world. And guess what? You have that same potential within you. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to let the world define you, to buy into the idea that you're nothing more than your job title or your relationship status or your net worth, or you can choose to define yourself. You could choose to see yourself as a limitless being capable of growth and change and amazing things. You could choose to focus on your inner qualities, your compassion, your creativity, your resilience, rather than external markers of success. This shift in perspective can be life-changing. When you stop identifying so strongly with your job, you become more open to new opportunities. You're not afraid to take risks or try new things because your sense of self isn't tied to your career success. When you stop equating your worth with your wealth, you free yourself from the endless pursuit of more. You can enjoy what you have without constantly feeling like you need to have more to be enough. And when you stop defining yourself by your relationships, you can enjoy healthier, more balanced connections with others. You're not desperately seeking someone to complete you because you know you're already complete. Now, I want you to do something for me. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. And ask yourself, who am I really? Beyond the roles you play, beyond the things you own, beyond your relationship status, or who are you at your core? Maybe you're a dreamer, always imagining new possibilities. Maybe you're a nurturer, always looking out for others. Maybe you're an explorer, always seeking new experiences. Maybe you're a creator, always making something new. Whatever it is, that's the real you. That's what defines you. Not your business card, not your bank statement, not your relationship status on social media. Embrace that core self. Nurture it. Let it guide your decisions and your actions. When you're true to your essence, everything else falls into place. You'll find work that aligns with your values. You'll attract abundance that supports your true needs. And you'll form relationships that enhance your life rather than define it. Remember, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your job, your wealth, your relationships, these are all part of that human experience. You're important, yes, but they're not the whole story. They're not you. You are so much more. You are consciousness. You are energy. You are potential. You are love. You are creativity. You are resilience. You are growth. You are possibilities. Don't let the world put you in a box. Don't let society's expectations limit you. You are not your resume. You are not your bank balance. You are not your relationship history. You are a miracle of existence, a unique expression of life itself. You are here to learn, to grow, to love, to create, to experience all that life has to offer. You are here to be you, fully, authentically, unapologetically you. So the next time someone asks you, what do you do, or how much do you make, or are you seeing anyone? Smile to yourself. Know that while these questions are about aspects of your life, they don't come close to capturing who you really are. Your true worth isn't measured in dollars or titles or relationship statuses. It's measured in the lives you touch, the love you share, the growth you experience, the joy you create. You are not your job. You're not your wealth. You're not your relationships. You're you beautifully, wonderfully, perfectly you. And that's more than enough. It's everything. So go out there and live from that place of knowing. Let your actions stem from your true self, not from what others expect of you or what you think you should be. Be authentic. Be real. When you align with your true self, magical things start to happen. You'll find yourself attracting the right opportunities, the right people, the right experiences. You'll feel a sense of peace and contentment that no external success can provide. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges. Life will still have its ups and downs, but when you're grounded in your true self, you'll navigate these challenges with grace and resilience. You won't be shaken to your core when you face a setback at work, because you know your worth isn't tied to your job performance. You won't fall apart if a relationship ends because you know you're complete on your own. Now, this isn't about neglecting your job or your finances or your relationships. These are important aspects of your life, and they deserve your attention and care. But they should serve you, not define you. Your job should be an expression of your talents and passions, not a cage that traps you. Your wealth should be a tool that allows you to live comfortably and make a positive impact, not a scorecard of your worth. Your relationship should enhance your life and help you grow, not complete you or give you an identity. It's about finding balance. It's about giving these aspects of your life the attention they deserve without letting them overshadow your true self. It's about remembering that you are the artist of your life, and these are just some of the colors on your palette. So how do we put this into practice? How do we live from this place of knowing that we are more than our jobs, our wealth, and our relationships? First, start your day by connecting with your true self. Before you check your emails or your bank balance or your messages, take a few moments to breathe deeply and remind yourself of who you really are. Set an intention to live from that place of authenticity throughout the day. Throughout your day, pause occasionally and check in with yourself. Are you making decisions based on your true values, or are you just reacting to external pressures? Are you expressing your authentic self, or are you wearing a mask to meet others' expectations? When you introduce yourself to new people, practice going beyond your job title or relationship status. Share something about your passions, your values, your dreams. Let people see the real you, not just your social roles. Cultivate interests and hobbies that have nothing to do with your work or your wealth. Engage in activities simply because they bring you joy or help you grow, not because they'll look good on your resume or impress others. In your relationships, practice being vulnerable and authentic. Share your true thoughts and feelings. Let people see your quirks and imperfections. True connection comes from sharing our real selves, not polished facades. What would decisions, big or small? Ask yourself. What would my true self do? Not what would look best on paper or what would make the most money or what would please others, but what aligns with your authentic self. Practice gratitude for who you are, not just what you have or what you've achieved. Appreciate your unique qualities, your growth, your resilience, your capacity to love and create and inspire. Remember that your worth is intrinsic. It doesn't go up when you get a promotion or down when you face a setback. It doesn't increase when you're in a relationship or decrease when you're single. Your worth is constant, unchanging, infinite, because it comes from your inherent nature as a unique expression of life itself. As you practice living from this place of knowing, you'll notice changes in your life. You'll feel more peaceful, more content. You'll be less reactive to external events and more responsive to your inner wisdom. You'll make choices that align with your true self, leading to a sense of fulfillment that no external success can match. You'll find yourself less concerned with impressing others and more focused on expressing your authentic self. You'll be less afraid of failure because you know that your worth isn't tied to your achievements. You'll be more open to new experiences and opportunities because you're not limited by a rigid self. Your relationships will become deeper and more meaningful. When you're not looking to others to complete you or give you an identity, you can connect from a place of wholeness. You can love more freely, more unconditionally. Your work will become more satisfying. When you're not depending on your job to define you, you can approach it with more creativity and enthusiasm. You might even find the courage to pursue work that truly aligns with your passions and values. Your relationship with money will become healthier. When you know that your worth isn't measured by your bank balance, you can use money as the tool it's meant to be without being controlled by the pursuit of more. This journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance is ongoing. It's not about reaching a destination where you never again forget your true nature. It's about continually coming back to this truth, especially when life gets challenging. There will be days when you forget, days when you get caught up in the stress of work or worry about your finances or feel defined by your relationship status. That's okay. It's part of the human experience. The key is to gently remind yourself of the truth when you notice you've forgotten. Each time you remember, each time you choose to act from your authentic self, rather than from external expectations, you're strengthening this knowing. You're creating new neural pathways, new habits of thought and action that align with your true nature. And as you do this, you become a beacon for others. People are drawn to authenticity. When you live from your true self, you give others permission to do the same. You create a ripple effect of authenticity and self-acceptance that can transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Imagine a world where everyone understood this truth, that we are not our jobs, our wealth, or our relationships. Imagine how much kinder, more compassionate, more creative that world would be. Imagine how much less stress and competition and judgment there would be. Imagine how much more love and understanding and cooperation we'd see. You have the power to create that world, starting with yourself. By living this truth, by being true to your authentic self, you're contributing to a shift in consciousness that our world desperately needs. So I invite you to take this truth with you as you go about your day. Remember it when you're at work, when you're checking your bank balance, when you're interacting with loved ones. Remember that you are not these things. You are the awareness behind them, the consciousness experiencing them. You are a magnificent, multifaceted being with infinite potential. You are consciousness having a human experience. You are love in action. You are creativity expressed. You are growth embodied. Embrace this truth. Live from this knowing. Be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself, because the world needs you, the real you, not the you that you think you should be. You are not your job. You are not your wealth. You are not your relationships. You are you beautifully. perfectly, wonderfully you, and that is more than enough. It's everything. So go forth and be you. The world is waiting for the gift that only you can give, the gift of your authentic self. Embrace it, express it, live it. Because when you're true to yourself, you light up the world in a way that no one else can. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose. To choose authenticity over conformity. To choose self-acceptance over self-criticism. To choose love over fear. To choose to be who you truly are. Not you have this power, you've always had it. And now that you've recognized it, you can use it to transform your life and touch the lives of others in profound ways. So take a deep breath. Feel the truth of who you are. And step into the world as your authentic self. Because you are not your job, your wealth, or your relationships. You are you. And that's the most powerful, most beautiful thing you can be. Now let's dig a little deeper into each of these aspects. Your job, your wealth, and your relationships. And explore how you can maintain a healthy perspective on each without letting them define you. Let's start with your job. In our society, one of the first questions we often ask when meeting someone new is, what do you do? It's as if we're trying to categorize people, to understand their value based on their occupation. But this is a limited view of human worth. Your job is important. It's how you contribute to society, how you express your skills and talents, how you earn a living, but it's not who you are. Think about it. If you suddenly couldn't do your job anymore, would you cease to exist? Of course not. You'd still be you with all your thoughts, feelings, experiences, and potential. Instead of letting your job define you, try to see it as an expression of you. It's one way you interact with the world, one way you share your gifts. But it's not the only way, and it's certainly not the sum total of who you are. If you're in a job you love, that's wonderful. Enjoy it, give it your best, let it be a source of fulfillment and growth. But don't let it become your entire identity. Cultivate other interests, other parts of yourself. Remember that you are more than what you do for a living. And if you're in a job you don't love, remember it doesn't define you. It's a temporary situation, not a permanent identity. Use it as a stepping stone, a learning experience. Keep nurturing your true passions and talents, even if they're not part of your current job. Your worth isn't determined by your job title or your salary. Now let's talk about wealth. Money is a tricky subject for many people. Some chase it relentlessly, believing it will bring happiness and fulfillment. Others feel guilty about having it or ashamed of not having enough. But here's the truth. Your bank balance is not a measure of your worth as a person. Wealth, like your job, is a tool. It's a means to an end, not an end in itself. It can provide comfort, security, and opportunities. It can allow you to help others and pursue your passions, but it can't buy happiness, love, or self-worth. Those come from within. If you have wealth, use it wisely. Let it be a blessing in your life and in the lives of others. But don't let it become your identity. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that your value as a person increases with your net worth. Some of the wealthiest people in the world are deeply unhappy, while some of the happiest people have very little in terms of material possessions. And if you're struggling financially, remember, your worth isn't measured in dollars and cents. You are valuable beyond measure simply because you exist. Your financial situation is just that, a situation. It's not who you are. It can change, and it will change, but your intrinsic worth remains constant. Instead of obsessing over accumulating wealth or feeling ashamed about your financial status, focus on cultivating true abundance in your life. Abundance of love, of joy, of creativity, of connection. These are the things that truly make life rich, and they're available to all of us, regardless of our bank balance. Now let's move on to relationships. We are social beings, and our connections with others are a vital part of our lives. But it's easy to fall into the trap of letting our relationships define us. We might think we're nothing without our partner, or that being single somehow makes us less valuable. But this simply isn't true. Your relationships are an important part of your life experience, but they're not your identity. Whether you're single, dating, married, divorced, or widowed, you are a complete and worthy individual. Your relationship status doesn't add to or subtract from your intrinsic value. If you're in a loving relationship, that's wonderful. Cherish it, nurture it, let it be a source of joy and growth in your life. But remember that your partner complements you. They don't complete you. You were already complete before they came into your life. And if you're not in a relationship right now, that's okay too. This is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply your current situation. Use this time to deepen your relationship with yourself. Explore your interests, pursue your passions, work on the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Remember, you don't need someone else to validate your existence or give your life meaning. You are enough, just as you are. Your worth doesn't depend on having a partner or being in a certain type of relationship. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually put it into practice? How do I stop defining myself by my job, my wealth, and my relationships when that's what society seems to value most? It's a process, and it takes time and practice. But here are some practical steps you can take. Start your day with self-affirmation. Before you check your work emails or your bank balance or your social media, take a moment to remind yourself of who you truly are. Say to yourself, I am not my job. I am not my wealth. I am not my relationships. I am a unique, valuable individual with infinite potential. Practice mindfulness. Throughout your day, pause and check in with yourself. Are you making decisions based on your true values, or are you just reacting to external pressures? Are you expressing your authentic self, or are you wearing a mask to meet others' expectations? Cultivate diverse interests. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If your job is your only source of fulfillment, you'll be devastated if you lose it. If your relationship is your whole world, you'll feel lost if it ends. Have multiple sources of joy and meaning in your life. Reframe your self-talk. Instead of saying, I am a lawyer, or I am broke, or I am single, try saying, I work as a lawyer, or I'm experiencing financial challenges right now, or I'm not in a relationship at the moment. This subtle shift in language can help you separate your circumstances from your identity. And practice gratitude for who you are, not just what you have. Appreciate your unique qualities, your growth, your resilience, your capacity to love and create and inspire. These are the things that truly define you. Serve others. When you focus on making a positive difference in the lives of others, you naturally shift your focus away from external markers of success and towards what really matters. Embrace failure and setbacks as opportunities for growth. When you stop identifying so strongly with your job or your wealth or your relationships, you become more resilient in the face of challenges. You can see setbacks as temporary situations, not personal deficiencies. Regularly ask yourself, who am I beyond my roles and possessions? Take time for self-reflection and self-discovery. Journal, meditate, or simply sit quietly and ponder this question. Surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not what you do or what you have. These authentic connections will reinforce your understanding of your true worth. Set goals that align with your authentic self, not just societal expectations. Pursue growth and achievement by all means, but make sure it's in service of your true self, not just to impress others or meet external standards. As you practice these steps, you'll find yourself becoming more grounded, more confident, more at peace. You'll be less swayed by the ups and downs of your career, your finances, or your love life, because you'll know that these things don't define you. You'll start to see your job as a way to express your talents and contribute to the world, but not as your whole identity. You'll view money as a useful tool, but not as a measure of your worth. You'll appreciate your relationships as beautiful parts of your life experience, but not as the source of your value. This shift in perspective can be truly liberating. When you're not constantly seeking validation from your job or your bank balance or your relationship status, you're free to be your authentic self. You're free to take risks, to try new things, to grow and change. You might find the courage to pursue a career that truly aligns with your passions, even if it doesn't look impressive on paper. You might develop a healthier relationship with money, using it as a tool for growth and positive impact rather than as a scorecard. You might form deeper, more authentic connections with others because you're coming from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. But perhaps most importantly, you'll develop a stronger, more loving relationship with yourself. When you truly understand that you are not your job, your wealth, or your relationships, you can start to appreciate yourself for who you really are, a unique, valuable, multifaceted being with infinite potential. You'll start to see that your worth is intrinsic. It doesn't go up when you get a promotion or down when you face a setback. It doesn't increase when you're in a relationship or decrease when you're single. Your worth is constant, unchanging, infinite, because it comes from your inherent nature as a unique expression of life itself. This doesn't mean you won't still have goals or ambitions. It doesn't mean you won't care about your career or your finances or your relationships. Of course you will. These are important aspects of your life experience, but you'll approach them from a different perspective, from a place of self-assurance rather than insecurity, from a desire for growth and expression rather than a need for validation. You'll work hard at your job because you want to make a positive impact and express your talents, not because you think your worth depends on your job title. You'll manage your finances responsibly because you want to create stability and opportunities in your life, not because you think your bank balance determines your value. You'll nurture your relationships because you want to share love and grow with others, not because you need someone else to complete you. This shift in perspective can transform not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. When you live from this place of authentic self-worth, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of self-acceptance and genuine living that can change your family, your community, and ultimately the world. Imagine a world where everyone understood this truth, that we are not our jobs, our wealth, or our relationships. Imagine how much kinder, more compassionate, more creative that world would be. Imagine how much less stress and competition and judgment there would be. Imagine how much more love and understanding and cooperation we'd see. You have the power to create that world, starting with yourself. By living this truth, by being true to your authentic self, you're contributing to a shift in consciousness that our world desperately needs. So I invite you to take this truth with you as you go about your day. Remember it when you're at work, when you're checking your bank balance, when you're interacting with loved ones. Remember that you are not these things. You are the awareness behind them, the consciousness experiencing them. You are a magnificent, multifaceted being with infinite potential. You are consciousness having a human experience. You are love in action. You are creativity expressed. You are growth embodied. Embrace this truth. Live from this knowing. Be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself, because the world needs you, the real you, not the you that you think you should be. You are not your job. You're not your wealth. You're not your relationships. You are you, beautifully, wonderfully, perfectly you, and that is more than enough. It's everything. So go forth and be you. The world is waiting for the gift that only you can give. The gift of your authentic self. Embrace it. Express it. Live it. Because when you're true to yourself, you light up the world in a way that no one else can. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose. To choose authenticity over conformity. To choose self-acceptance over self-criticism. To choose love over fear. To choose to be who you truly are, not who you think you should be. You have this power. You've always had it. And now that you've recognized it, you can use it to transform your life and touch the lives of others in profound ways. So take a deep breath. Feel the truth of who you are. And step into the world as your authentic self. Because you are not your job, your wealth, or your relationships. You are you. And that's the most powerful, most beautiful thing you can be. Thank you for listening, for being here, for being you. Now go out there and shine your unique light on the world. It's waiting for you.